at the Universalist Unitarian Church of Farmington, every day, in every way, we bid you welcome. In this community of radical inclusion, we make space for what you believe, who you are, what you love, and who you love. Your whole self is welcome here. It's important that you showed up today. Gathering in community is an act of rebellion against isolation and hopelessness. Knowing this to be true, please repeat after me. We are rebels for hope.
We are rebels for hope.
My name is Barb Eglinton. My pronouns are she and her. Thank you for spending your Sunday morning with us, whether it's enjoying the service in person or online. We are so glad you are here. I'd like to extend a special welcome to any visitors today, and if you'd like to learn more about us, please talk to one of our greeters after the service or complete the form with that's at the QR code found on the card in one of the pews. Everyone is welcome to join us for coffee and fellowship in Adams Hall, which is downstairs, right after the service. And now for a few announcements. First one is a huge congratulations to the UUCF choir and our children's choir and the amazing musicians who contributed to last night's Earth Day concert. Thank you to Diana Munch, our music director, Terry Spencer, our choir conductor, our youth who sang 5 incredible songs under the direction of Kelly Petrie and Brandon Gallerani. A big thank you also to James Sanchez, our ushers, and everyone else who worked to make this concert a wonderful event. If you supported the concert in any way, please stand up and give them a huge round of applause. You've already been clapping, but let's do it. Okay, now a very important administrative announcement. Next Sunday after the service is our town hall, which is a preview of what we're going to be voting on at our congregational meeting in March. But so next Sunday, May. This year is slipping away. So yeah, next Sunday we'll be talking about the candidates that are running for different positions, and we'll give you a preview of the budget. So mark your calendars for that. UUCF Movie Night is on April 30th. We will be watching Julia Scott's Funny That Way. With breathtaking emotional honesty, this tender, funny, and powerful portrait of transgender comedian Julia Scott explores the unrelenting courage and humor it takes to be Julia. Decades ago, Julia Scotty performed as Rick Scotty and appeared on bills with Jerry Seinfeld and Chris Rock. Now, the trans comedian returns to the stage as the crazy old lady of comedy. In this tender, funny, and triumphant comeback story, come and see it. Doors will open at 6:30. The movie will begin at 7. Popcorn and drinks will be provided. Now I'd like to invite Barb Iovan up to tell us about another exciting event.
Hi, Barb Iovan with Social Justice. I want to mention, very excited to bring back our event, The Butterfly, next month. If you've not been to it or you're not familiar, it's akin to NPR's The Moth. So we share stories. We have a great group of members and friends that will share their personal stories. And what I wanted to mention, tickets are still available that night at the door for $10. But if you're sort of a visitor to UUCF, you haven't been to this, please know we welcome you to be our guest. Please join us. It is for adults only, and we have snacks and beer and wine, all that good stuff too. So it's a great evening. It's on Friday, May 15th. So jot that down. Thank you.
Okay, just two more. The annual crop walk will be held on May 3rd at 1 p.m. If you look around the room, and you'll see on the windows all the shirts from previous years and the names of people who have registered to walk this year. You are welcome to join us. This is a space for you. It's always a great way to connect and raise funds for organizations that are addressing world hunger. Please see Yvonne Wyborny for more information about participating. And finally, this is the very last day for the PEEPS voting. The PEEPS are down there. There are some very creative dioramas. The PEEPS are dioramas made from marshmallow peeps, and the ants have found out that the peeps are there, so we really can't go for many more days with the peeps. So please get your money out and vote for the peep, and whichever peep has the most money voted for it will win. And
Is there a prize for the ants' favorite one?
the zombies have. All right. Okay. Now, there's some opportunities for connections this week. On Monday night is the AA meeting and choir, which are separate events, choir practice. On Monday evening, Tuesday is the men's lunch, Wednesday is the executive board meeting, and Friday, crafters in community, so bring whatever craft you have at 7 and join other crafters in the fellowship hall. Also, attention to our parents. After their part in the service today, the RE students will be going outside to celebrate Earth Day together. So please check them out from the classroom when the service is dismissed. From the playground. Okay, go to the playground to find them, to check them out. All right, and now please take a moment to silence any of your digital devices that might make noise so that you can be present with us here today. And I'd like to invite Joey to come up and light our chalice. And as we begin our service today, and light the chalice, which is a symbol of our faith, let's share our mission statement, share the words of our mission statement together. We seek answers everywhere, include everyone, and live with compassion. Our opening hymn today is one that we got to enjoy last night at the Earth Day concert, Yonder Come Day. So please rise in body or spirit for today's opening hymn.
Yonder come day,
So Argo will be giving us the message for all ages. I just want to remind you that as we sing the children out, we'll sing to As You Go, and please do the rainbow arches. If you're sitting by a rainbow arch, please contact your neighbor across the aisle and hold those up for us.
All right. Hello, my name is Argo Kramer. I use he, him, or they, them pronouns, and I am the Religious Education Coordinator here at UUCF. So today, the message for all ages is a little different. The RE students are going to be helping to set up a ritual that is going to take place later in the service. So this is something called a dirt communion. Which, when I was telling this to my parents who were familiar with a Catholic Mass, they were very worried we were eating the dirt, which I assured them, no, that's not that type of communion. But the first 3 steps we'll be doing to have individuals take these home as with little seeds in them that they can plant is to place seeds in them, place soil over those, and then place water on top. So first, I want to call up anybody in the RE program who feels comfortable doing this in the nursery or elementary classrooms. It's you 3. You 3. If you don't want to, you don't have to. Okay. So we're gonna put a tiny pinch, just like that many, in each one of these, okay? And then Sibby, for that tray, use that mug. There you go. And make sure each one gets some. Sibby, I'll help you. And we'll just make sure each side sticks with their own, because one of these is better in full sunlight and the other one is better in full shade. So you all, as the youngest students of the church, are planting the seeds that the congregation and myself get to watch grow over the years. Well, you are the youngest in a general sense.
Probably the youngest.
Anyways, when I worked here as a teenager in the nursery, in the elementary classrooms, I knew a lot of you before you were old enough to remember who I was. And I know how that feels, because there are some congregants in here who knew me before I was old enough to remember who they were, and they tell me about it all the time. And same thing with my older sister, who is now about to turn 26 in medical school, living on her own, and they'll be like, oh, is she in college now? And I'm like, yes, yes, she is. She is becoming a doctor. So I think that time is a crazy thing. I think we got these. Time is a crazy thing that keeps moving. So now we're going to put a little bit of dirt, just like a sprinkle of dirt over each one. And then if your cup runs out, we have more in here. Or you can just take a little scooper from here. Here, Annie, do you want this? There you go. So I'll have you guys start with this, and then with time, we will watch you grow over the years, and one day congregants will be asking you, and they'll say, do you remember when I took care of you in the nursery? And you'll smile and you'll say, yes, I do.
Because I'm a magical baby.
Yeah, I was a magical baby with great memory. And I think that is one of the great parts of working in a church that I also grew up in, is watching the same patterns that I was once in, now on the adult side of things. We have children who frolic about the woods after service, and I was once a child who frolicked about the woods after service and got talkings to about getting too muddy to get in the car. And now I watch children get talkings to for being too muddy to get into the car. And I think it's very funny how history tends to repeat itself. All right, I think we got all of them?
Not yet.
Not yet, okay, we got a couple more.
This one just got a big clump.
It's okay, I can break it up. Okay, that looks good.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you all very much. You guys can go back to your seats. Thank you.
When is the water gonna happen?
The older kids are gonna do the water. Okay, so now I want to call up any RE students who are in the middle school room or above. And you all help our younger students to grow, just like this water will help these seeds to grow. So we're going to go around. There's 3 pitchers and 3 of you. How wonderful. And just so carefully, like the teensiest bit of water. Just a tiny bit. Yes, in each cup. Mm-hmm. Yep. Smart strategy. You can put a little less. There we go. And Jude has also helped fill these cups if you would find it easier to pour. Yeah.
I got it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I filled.
Okay.
Am I supposed to water?
Yes.
Oh. It's a lot
There you
of
go.
fun
Good.
watching you.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, I'll post these pictures.
So these students help our younger students to grow like the water will help these seeds. They lead by example whether they like to or not, which I remind them of when we are in groups, is that the younger students look up to these guys so much. And don't shake your head like that. Maybe not you, but some of them do. And yeah, one of them's a brother, but on days where our older students are engaged with the activity and asking questions, our younger students follow suit. And it's this really cool thing of where I can suggest a thing 100 times, but then if I whisper to one of the middle school students and I say, hey, can you say that only 3 people can sit on the couch? And then they do, then it magically happens. So I think that this, I have the privilege and honor of working with these students and getting to watch them grow over the past 1.5 years since I've been here, and since even longer before that, since I knew them when they were young. And just like these seeds, you are the future of this congregation, and we can't wait to see where you go. So now that we have set this up for the adults, we are going to go head up to the Marge Brown room. So we'll have the words to the children's recessional on the, we'll have the words of the children. We will not have the words of the children. It's from memory. And we will hold up the arches. All right.
was great that many of you knew those words by heart. So. Through the sharing of joys and sorrows, we make space for every Sunday for authentic and vulnerable sharing, which helps to build this congregation into a beloved community. You are invited to share what's going on in your life, to name your feelings and the people in your heart in need of prayer, good energy, best wishes, and other help. You're welcome to come pick up a stone or stones from the table, infuse it or charge it with joy or sorrow, and place it in the singing bowl, where its energy will ripple out for all of us, to be held by all of us. If you like to speak verbally or say something from your heart, please speak into the microphone, that one there by Kelly. All are welcome to participate in one of these ways. Light 3 candles, sorry to do it, for the intentions that rest in the silent sanctuary of our hearts. One for the joys, one for the sorrows, and one for the strength of this gathered community that can support you and bring you peace.
As we move into our meditation moment, I ask you to bring your energy into this space. We know that everybody is carrying things that they don't say out loud, whether it's a joy or a sorrow, something from your personal self, from your family or friends, or for the world, which we know always needs our prayers and blessings. So I want you to just bring your attention into this space. And so I'm walking over here in case they need to know to turn on my mic over here. Can you hear me? Okay. So before we begin, we're going to bless the dirt that our children have now planted seeds for, and which we will have our dirt communion a little bit later. But I would just want you to imagine the time when you first came to this sanctuary, this property, this campus, whatever we want to call this space here, not just this room, but the entire space. And if it's your first time, I encourage you to think of what was it like when you turned into the drive and you saw the trees and you saw the bushes. And especially today, it's a little chilly, but we're seeing some blooms coming up. We're seeing a little bit of spring coming forth now. Imagine what that's like if you've been here for a while. Can you try to get back to what I call your newbie eyes? Because it's easy to show up time after time and just kind of take it for granted. Of course the trees are here. Of course this is this over here. Yes, of course we have the path for our memorial garden. Of course. But can you, in this space, just imagine driving up? Maybe it's your first time, or maybe it's the time right after the ice has thawed. Or maybe it's the spring now in another week or so, or the fall when the trees change a different color. Let's hold on to those thoughts. Even if it was your first time today, what was it like to show up into this space, this property, this piece of earth? Let's meditate on that for a moment. With your eyes still closed, think on what it feels like to have dirt in your hands or dirt under your feet, if you're willing to do that. What does it feel like to run dirt through your fingers and feel that connection to the earth in some way? If another part of the earth and another part of the globe feels like home to you, imagine your feet back in that space for this moment. I truly believe that we are literally all connected to the earth, to each other, to earth, dirt, air, water, fire. And so towards this, I would like you to call to mind the reality that this is earth. We've planted some seeds on this dirt, and the dirt came directly from this property. So last week, our custodian, David Petzel, he went and dug up some dirt for us from our property. So this first layer was dirt here from the property. And so hold this in mind while I read this to you. Earth, clay from which we are made and to which we will return. Soil, rich and aromatic, crumbling in our fingers, dark under our nails. This cleansing dirt, the natural filter for aquifers, holds life. Once weathered rock and dissolved minerals, now joined with humus, decaying material, feeding hungry fungus and bacteria, you are living, made of living organisms and giving us life. Forgive us for treating you, earth, like dirt, overlooked as we walk over you without a second look, littered with our discarded cartons and plastic bags. Forgive us our seeping toxins from clever industrial innovations. Forgive us as we heal our relationship with the earth. Seeds, there's still some seeds in here. Seeds, these little bitty pieces. I can't even get a good grasp on them. Little bitty seeds. Promise of future life. May you germinate and live into your full potential. Let your roots feel and follow the earth's gravity down, and let your green shoots break through to the surface and feel the light. Future plants, we thank you. Thank you, converting sunlight into chemical energy that allows life to flourish. Thank you literally for the beauty we will see, because these are flower seeds, not plants. Thank you for the beauty, because we appreciate beauty, don't we? That they are going to flourish. Thank you, and we are grateful for you. Water. This is, of course, water from our kitchen downstairs. It is a fundamental compound. We are only a part of your journey. Little puddles making mud, clouds above, glaciers melting over us, sprinkling in springtime shower, the unimaginable expanse of an ocean's depths, vapor in our dying breath. You are in all of us, in every cell of our being. Water, continue to flow, continue to allow life to grow, continue to quench our thirst, continuing your cycle through the earth. Transpiration and evaporation, condensation and precipitation continue to filter and trickle into streams, finally reaching the sea, only to continue your journey again into the air. Air, solution of gases, which we all need to breathe. It is invisible, but felt and heard. We feel you as the air pressure changes and the trees' leaves dances in your wind. We hold you in anticipation. You are our life breath, flowing in and out of all of us. Oxygen in, carbon dioxide out. Inhale, exhale. Flowing back and forth between plant and person, algae and animal. We hear you, air. You are the conveyance for our encouraging words and uplifting music as your waves vibrate. You surround us and expand throughout our atmosphere, beyond the stratosphere, toward our sun. Now we know that these little flowers are not going to grow without sun. We all need sun. Sun, little star, little yellow star, great source of life's energy, bringer of light and warmth, harbinger of the new day as we see you again after another rotation of our axis. Just imagine each day when we see the sun or when the clouds move and it uplifts us and gives us new hope. Roiling radiant plasma, your solar rays give us hope. Hope for a new tomorrow. Hope for warmth after a long winter. Hope for light when the future seems dark and so hard to see. Brilliant, giant sun, shine down on our little earth. In the knowledge that we are all of us imperfect, but come together in communities of grace, in the belief that we humans share an origin and a common destiny, in a sustaining faith in human redemption and growth, in the wisdom of science that tells us dirt is an important part of our own health and happiness, and understanding that all living creatures are connected and have a right to healthy soil, in hopes that we all continue to grow together in mind, body, and spirit, we bless this dirt. May we never forget our connection to the earth, air, water, sun, and seeds. May we truly commit through our love for the earth and each other to transform ourselves and our precious planet in everything we do. May it ever be so. Now we're going to sing number 73 in Chant for the Seasons. Now we're only going, I don't know who our song leader is today. Terry, great. So we're only going to sing number 73. So that in 73 there's a line that says Chant for the Seasons. We're going to sing Spring. So if you would open up your gray hymnals.
Number 73, Chant for the Seasons. And as Reverend Karen said, we're going to sing the third verse, which is Spring. And if you notice real quick, there's a repeat sign at that. So we sing that first phrase twice before we move on. And we're only singing the spring verse. Yes. Winter rains have turned the star wheel. Springtime is upon us. Winter rains have springtime is upon us.
Your support, the free and generous support of each and every member and friend of this community is what fuels this community and its mission, and without your support, the flame of justice, community, and love cannot burn brightly to warm ourselves and be a beacon in a world threatened by division and fear. You are now invited to participate in the blessing of giving as the ushers come among you to accept the gift of the congregation. You may also give online via the QR code on the back of the order of service. The morning offering will now be received. beautiful. Please join me in reciting the offertory blessing that can be found in the order of service and behind me. To the work of the beloved community within and beyond these walls, we dedicate ourselves and our offering.
This morning, we were going to have a different speaker. So we were going to have Geno Gresham, who is here a little bit for part of our concert last night. He is with Detroit, Greening of Detroit, and so he was going to share about the work that they do. So instead, then he messaged me or sent an email this morning to me and Katie saying that he had a family emergency. So we do what we always do. We are very flexible, we adjust, and so I've decided I'm going to show you this video that has some information about them, and this is me learning how to do this in real time. I'm so proud of all that we have learned this year, right, Jamie? So, so this is a video about Greening of Detroit, and because I think it's really important because I'm just so obsessed with dirt, with our connection to each other through the trees and how we are all connected. So I'm sharing this video with you. 1 second. Yep.
In the heart of Detroit, where industry and history intertwine, a quiet revolution is taking root, one tree at a time. For 35 years, the Greening of Detroit has been more than an initiative. It's been a movement, reshaping the city's landscape while restoring hope, opportunity, and a healthier environment for its residents. Darnell Adams, Vice President of Detroit Community Initiatives for the Gilbert Family Foundation, has been working alongside Greening for over 15 years. To him, planting a tree is not just about beautification, it's about rebuilding a sustainable future.
Greening is not just planting trees, it's really putting back the tree canopy across our city that really does improve the health outcomes of all Detroiters. If you don't have a healthy city, the city won't thrive. And so I think that that's one way that we found it easy to align our investments with greening.
Once a city bustling with tree-lined streets, Detroit has lost much of its greenery due to disease and urban expansion. Now, through the combined efforts of organizations like Greening and its partners, the city is witnessing a resurgence. This is not just about trees, it's about people.
We care about the economic mobility of Detroiters. We care about getting Detroiters paid. We actually have what we call a GDP tracker, Get Detroiters Paid, internally, to make sure that every Detroiter has an opportunity to thrive.
Meet Jessica, a proud graduate of the Greening's Detroit Conservation Corps, a program dedicated to training Detroiters for careers in the landscape and tree care industry. Through hard work and determination, she excelled in the program and has now taken on a full-time role as the Workforce Recruitment Coordinator, helping others find their path to success.
They just come in and get, what they need for tools for coming in back to the society. We try to help them as much as we can with their licenses, birth certificates, Social Security, just getting them adapted into the, society, coming back into, the real world.
John Erb, chairman of the Fred and Barbara Erb Family Foundation, echoes this sentiment. His foundation has supported Greening since its early days, recognizing the multifaceted value of trees.
Trees are good for the environment, water quality, air quality, mental health.
At a critical moment in Greening's history, when financial hardship threatened its future, Erb's Foundation stepped in with the $50,000 challenge grant, ensuring the organization could continue its vital work. Since then, Greening has not only survived, but flourished.
It's thriving now. It's thriving.
But perhaps no one embodies the spirit of greening more than Lionel Bradford, its president. He reflects on the organization's mission.
Since our inception, we planted over 166,000 trees. We've done that with the help of over 27,000 volunteers. Between 1950 and 1980, we lost well over 500,000 trees because of Dutch elm disease, urbanization, and neglect. The Greening of Detroit was founded to combat this issue, strictly to reforest the city of Detroit.
As Greening embarks on its ambitious goal to plant 75,000 trees over the next 5 years, the impact is clear. The trees provide more than shade. They represent resilience, opportunity, and a shared commitment to a greener future. For Adams, Erb, and Bradford, the work is personal. Whether it's a childhood memory of sledding at Baldock Park, the sight of a towering maple glowing in autumn hues, or the blue tree guards marking a new beginning, each tree tells a story. And with every seedling planted, Detroit's next chapter continues to unfold, one rooted in sustainability, equity, and hope.
Isn't that amazing? I think trees are amazing. And like I said, I wasn't planning on talking today. I was going to be the service leader. And Geno Gresham was going to be our speaker. But we adapt and we change, just like the environment, just like each of us. So I wanted to share this with you and just a little bit about my life and my own relationship to trees here. So back in February 2023, I was living in a neighborhood in Chicago and trying to figure out what was my next life steps. I put in this application to serve here at the UU congregation here in Farmington and began serving here in May of 23. Now, one of the things that drew me to this area, and I am not joking or belittling or saying anything minor when I say this, but it really was the trees. That the trees were a huge part of me deciding to apply here, physically here, and to Michigan, because I have an affinity for this area because I grew up in northern Indiana, but in a really urbanized area because my mom worked downtown Chicago, so like where we were, there were not a lot of trees, but we used to go to Indiana Dunes, and while Indiana Dunes is not in Michigan, but it did make me have positive feelings for Michigan because of Lake Michigan, and the neighborhood or where I grew up in was actually, it was next to Chicago, but it was also just a mile walk up to Lake Michigan from where we lived. So I had a positive feeling for this area. Before even beginning, I thought, okay, this is a place where I can start. So the truth is, a little story about me is that UCF came into my life at just the right time. Timing is everything, isn't it? In your lives, like over and over again, you can think of this thing or this person showed up at the right time. I know there's a conversation about that in the book discussion group about a book they're reading about how things that happen at the right time. So I had experienced what's called a conflicted ending in my last congregation. There had been miscommunication, misunderstanding, and hurt feelings, which resulted in my resignation from that congregation. It was a hard, hard time. I went through a long time of processing all of that. And when that happens to a Unitarian Universalist minister, then in our larger denomination, what they do is they say, you need to go into what they call being like on hold or review while you figure stuff out. And so you're kind of doing that on your own. But you have to spend some time figuring out who are you now, and what did you do to contribute to this conflict, and how are you going to grow, and so that you can be back out in the world serving congregations. It took me a long time. It took actually about 1.5 years. And so when I went to go serve that congregation initially, then I lived 3 hours south of my wife because she could only get a job in Chicago, and that particular congregation insisted I live where they were, even though it was during the pandemic and I could have done it all virtually. But so we were living 3 hours apart. So as soon as this ministry ended, I moved to Chicago with her. We were able to, thankfully, again, everything is about timing, get into a 2-bedroom apartment. She had been living in a studio. I had been living in a 1-bedroom. So in a way, it was actually kind of a blessing. So we moved into this 2-bedroom apartment, which sounds like a lot of square space, but in Chicago it is not, I promise you. So, but we made it work because we just, that's kind of how life is. You figure out how to make things work. So that turned out to be kind of a good landing spot for me for a while because of having lived on the other side of Chicago, on the Indiana side. So Chicago, for many ways, was like my home. And so I came back, even though I had left as an 18-year-old, but I always felt like Chicago was home. And I came back, I'm living in the city. I never lived in the city before, but it's kind of like when you return to a place and some things have changed, like some of our major department stores were now taken over by Target and Macy's, which, as a child, I was like, oh no. But everything changes. But I came back, and it ended up being a good place to heal because I was able to, okay, this is what I need to do now. And then eventually, over time, I was able to get back into a mental space, an emotional space, a spiritual space to serve our congregations again. And one of those things that actually helped me, and I particularly wore this stole today, because this congregation, our leaders gave this to me because this section in particular is reminiscent of birds. You all have heard about me and my bird obsession. And so the apartment that Michelle and I had was on the 2nd floor of this building that we noticed one day that there was a tree planted in the sidewalk right there. And the tree, we were just at bird level for the branches. And if we had been on the 1st floor or the basement, we would not see those branches at all. But on the 2nd floor where we were, we could see the birds right there. And so we got a window bird feeder that, I don't know if you've seen them, but they're these plastic ones that you can put kind of around the side, and we would have to pull up the window and pull out the drawer and then put the seeds in and then go do it again and back up. But we loved it because all of a sudden we started attracting birds to our tiny, very urban apartment where the other end of the block was the fire department, the other people here would just be amazed at the sounds we have lived through, but we still were able to draw the birds and be able to enjoy that experience. And so when I began looking again for congregations and okay, I'm going to give this another shot. Maybe I am called to ministry. I don't know, but I'm willing to try. And so I started looking, and I saw this congregation and some others, but I thought, Michigan is where it's supposed to be. And thankfully, I was offered the job. I'm looking at Liz because she was the board president on the negotiating team at the time. And so this congregation, because of the trees, because you all have been so welcoming, was a place where I was able to get replanted as a minister. And so I am very grateful to all of you for that. So I want you to know how much trees and birds really matter, and for you to think on what is important to you, what you take home from being a part of this community. And whether it's your first time or you're relatively new, maybe it doesn't mean a whole lot to you yet, but just to imagine what you take home and what the congregation that this building, this land, was donated by the Gibson family. These trees were a part of their property, their land. If these walls could talk, there are so many stories to tell about the land and about each part of the building. All around, there are so many stories to tell. And so today, this is your opportunity to take a little bit of that home with you with some dirt that was dug up from our land, with some seeds that I purchased from Farmer John's down the street. The little pot plants were also from Farmer John's. The water is from here in our kitchen. Each of this is a representative of the whole and something for you. I'm just going to say, if it matters to you, that this side, my right side, is the part shade. If you are somebody who you're like, oh, I don't have spaces, I don't have good sun, this is the side to come. This is the full shade side. And so what's going to happen in a minute, then I'm going to encourage you, you don't have to participate. Like all communions, like everything in the UU world, it's all about consent, and you have to decide if you're going to participate. But I encourage you to, because it's a way to bring something home. Maybe put it out front if you can, or put it in a little pot of your own, and grow some flowers. See what happens. We have no idea, really, what you're going to get. That's the thing that's part of the excitement. We have no idea what's going to be in each one of those. I can tell you what's in them, but nobody knows, because it's a packet of seeds of all kinds. I think that's part of the joy. It's part of the joy of being Unitarian Universalist. We have so many options, anything could happen, and you get to be open to that. And so because we have the drum set, which I love the drum set, I'm never ever going to say no to the drum set. So, because we have the drum set, then this is logistically what's going to happen. Diana is going to play some music, and the people on this side get up and go that way all around. You can come get your flowers here, circle back around and back to your seats on the side. I know that's complicated, but you can do it. And then this side, again, go back down that way and around. So we have Karen DeGay up here to help direct people, just in case folks get lost. But this is to help people not trip over the drum set. So I encourage you, as Diana plays, then we're just going to get up and circle around to come pick up whichever pot you want. And then you'll go back to your seat with your pots. And then we will bless the seeds and the dirts and give thanks for all that we are together. May it be so. on the shade side. So if you need a cup, yes. So if you need to put yours in a little cup, Becca has some cups, just so that you're not so wet there. But we appreciate their help. It was just a little too much. So let's take a moment to bless these seeds, bless the dirt, bless each of you for all that you bring. And then thank you so much for celebrating this dirt communion together. We're going to close by singing "We Celebrate the Web of Life," which is in your order of service on the second page. Wall. We extinguish this chalice with an open heart. We are building a better world together. We are becoming better people together. We are living our lives together. We don't have to do it alone.
you.